Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have liftoff as we just landed ourselves a 4-star wide receiver. Get fired up, boys and girls. Let's get it, all right? It's a great day to be a Gator. It's about time we got ourselves a wide receiver. We have talked about it time and time again on the show. Feels good finally to get one locked into place. You know your boy had to bring out the spacesuit for this one because it's a special one. Izaiah Williams, 6-foot wide receiver, 4-star stud. We're going to talk all about him today. We're going to watch some film as we always do on these shows. And then we're going to talk about Billy and his thoughts on the portal. Kind of came out and had a little conversation about it. It was refreshing to see, on top of some crystal balls for the boys too. Florida's making some moves, and you know what we got to do when we land ourselves a 4-star commit. Got to pull out the calculator, see what's going on, start talking about if, then, buts, what about it? Because that's how we do things around here. But I'm excited. It's about time that we get DJ Lagway some help on the outside. And look, we had a phenomenal class that committed last year in the wide receiver course, so we should expect to see some more studs flow in. The next big piece, the next big puzzle that would make this weekend even better is if a 4-star decided to, or an offensive lineman decided to commit this weekend, because then I'd be even more fired up. But I'm fired up nonetheless to rock and roll. Make sure you guys drop a like, show some love. Dominic, Brandon Curry, what's going on, baby? Todd Freeman, Sammy Chappell, let's go, blast off. James Lyons, King Mike. What's going on, boys? Notification gang, I love it. TJ Moore is next, and that is part of one of our crystal ball guys that we will be talking about. But right now, we got to talk about the man, Izaiah Williams, okay? Caught 575 yards for his career as a receiver in high school and has averaged 14.5 yards per reception. Missed a lot of time his junior due to a collarbone injury. Get all of this right now, guys. This is an article written by our man David Soderquist that is live on the website. If you guys want to check that out, by all means, go give it a look. Go give it a like. A little heart is there as well. He also recently ran the fastest time at the Under Armour Next Camp in Orlando, Florida, with a 4.4 40-yard dash and has recorded a 10.9 100-meter dash time. So he says may not look like a fast burner on film, but his top end speed makes up for it. Love it. We're gonna go watch film here in just a little bit, but again, 6-foot stud from where is he from? I got him right here. From Tampa, Florida, not too far. He is the 48th ranked wide receiver, 325th nationally. What's funny, I was looking through his timeline here. So he visited at Florida State in March. He visited in October at Florida State, and then again in March 10th, 2023. Then he visited us 13 days later on the 23rd. We gave him an offer then he an unofficial visit on the April 13th, and then obviously today he has committed. So he must have loved something. He visited the likes of Miami, LSU, and UCF all of last year. Hasn't visited anywhere since then. So, look, love that we were able to get him in, especially after visiting FSU. Comes in, we're able to lock that in. Massive pickup for the boys. Love it. Look, we're just getting warmed up, boys. So let's talk about where that puts us now. How does that rank us? That puts us at 176 overall, .20. That puts us now in 247 has updated their site. It looks like they've took off our boy. Wait, what? It's got Florida with 4 5 stars. There must be a glitch right now, but I'll take it. It's got showing 4 5 stars currently for all of our commits, which I don't believe it's right. We have 1, if I'm not mistaken. But our average rating is 94.04 still. I want to say we're behind Georgia, and I think we're still behind Alabama. Alabama hasn't really had anybody. Yeah, they're at 95.42 with 6 commits. We, again, have 8 commits. Everybody ahead of us has more commits than we do. The next closest person is Tennessee and Oregon and South Carolina. They all have 10 commits. with a score of 191. South Carolina has a pretty healthy class with 10 commits at an average rating of 92. But Oregon and Tennessee with 2 extra commits are only a point or 2 ahead of us. So the class right now that we're putting together is beyond those 2 classes in regards to quality. Penn State has 13 commits with an overall rating of 90. LSU has 14 commits with an overall rating of 90. And you got Notre Dame, Georgia. And Michigan and Ohio State are just absolutely blowing the damn doors off this thing. It's incredible to watch what they're doing, especially for O-linemen. Michigan is just gobbling them up left and right, it feels like. But look, creeping into that top 10. And on top of that, we've got a few crystal balls, which we're going to get into. So we'll bring the calculator out again and see what's going on with the calculator and how that's going to be. Yeah, it seems like a glitch for sure. Todd Freeman with the cheers. I love it. Let's go, baby. 4 or 5 stars, we'd have like the best class. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. But let's dive into his film. Take a look into Izaiah Williams here. This is his the end of his season highlights. This was updated last January. This is the last that we have of him. So that's all we got from Huddle currently. So hopefully we'll get some more, tape from him. I think they're low on the tape right now, but I think even drop Paul there. There he goes, number 5, gone. Just top end speed, boys, gone. To the house. Did he just give him a wave? Give him a little oh! Did they hit him with the flag for celebration that quick? My goodness. A little slant route to the boys. Wide open, yep. Quarterback's kind of nice too. Ooh! Well, Billy, go take a look at that quarterback, baby. Who is that? Got him at the punt returner as well. But he's comfortable out there, man. It's just a little bit of swagger about him. Bro, look at this guy, bro. I'm loving the energy. Like, he just does it with ease. He knows it, too. Oh, big deep ball. Bro, this quarterback got it gone, dude. Let's not sleep on that QB, boys. Woo! Son. Just absolutely dropping dimes on him. Oh, just burning him. One-on-one. The cornerback think he got him. No way. No, sir. No how. I don't think that was a corner. That was a safety that ended up switching up on him. Oh, look at him just burning them, boys. Burning them, boys. All right, that kid was a little tiny. But still. Gone. Nobody keep up with him. Ooh! Going up and getting it. Double coverage. Said, yep, here we go. My goodness, that must be a nasty duo. That quarterback that got an arm like that and a wide receiver that can just go up there. Look at that. Just say, hey, go get it, boss. Go get it, boss. Boys, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Whoop. Oh, left his ankles. Whoop. Whoop. Oh, 2 broken tackles. Whoop. 6 foot, don't remind you, boys. Big boy here. I like it. Quick turnaround. Putting the brakes on him, boys. Putting the absolute brakes on him. Oh. Just sit on him, boys. Sit in that chair and turn it. Look at it. Go. To the house. Whew. That was a good wrap-up tackle there. Oh, my goodness. Bro, the little 1-2 punch there with the boys. I'm loving the chemistry between the quarterback and the wide receiver, man. So I can't wait to see what DJ can do with the boys. You know what I mean? When he comes in. This is where we have to get excited about, man. The future is looking bright. We got to be patient. I know we want to be great now, and I want to be great now too. But, man, we're putting together from last year's class to this year's class. I mean, the thing is starting to come together, boys. Putting together absolute dogs. You don't hit the button right now, do we? That's not what I wanted.
Scared money don't make money, you know?
I'm liking what I'm seeing, boys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, how you're feeling about it. But my goodness. But he got to run routes well. He's got, obviously, some massive speed here, just blowing guys out of the water. One-on-one coverage is not the ideal way to cover him. Oh. Bro, this one hell of a high school, dude. Just slinging like this. Cornerback, look how back the cornerback was. He didn't know what to do, bro. But he's tiny, though. They're like, I don't know how to cover this guy. We can't do one-on-one. I can't press coverage. Oh, look at the block. I love having that as a highlight. I love that. Team player looking down the field, setting the block up. I love that, boys. That gets me excited and fired up. Third highest player for 2024. I don't think I had him a little bit lower than that when I had the calculator pulled up. It's got DJ, at number 1, then Xavier at number 2, who also is a 5-star, so we should technically have 2 5-stars. Darius Hayes, Miles Graham, Chauncey Bowens, and then Izaiah Williams. He's got a rating of 90 on 247. Chauncey's got 92. Miles Graham has 97. Darius Hayes has 97. And Xavier Filsimi also has 97. All those guys tickling that 5-star rating, which is awesome. Xavier, Darius, and Miles all sit at 97. I know depending on where you look for Xavier, he could be your 4 or 5-star. So love seeing that. And then again, with DJ Lagway being that 5th star as well. So massive pickup. And then let's transition as well. He loses his footing sometimes, needs to clean that up a bit. Look, I think that was his sophomore season, mind you, that we were looking at, that film. So keep in mind, he was really young there. But yeah, you could tell he's a little Bambi leg, but love what we're seeing. But let's talk about the crystal balls as well and whip the calculator out alongside those crystal balls, okay? One of them, again, being a linebacker, the other being a wide receiver, and TJ Moore. So TJ Moore right now has been predicted by On3, a little crystal ball from On3, to land at Florida. We've been talking about TJ Moore for a little bit now and the possibility of him becoming a Gator. And you know what we do? When we have these things, we like to kind of get, it's like you're counting your lottery money, is what we like to describe it around here on High Top Sports. What will we do if we win, right? How are we going to spend our money? TJ Moore would then be placed above Chauncey Bowens and Izaiah Williams with a 92 rating. So he would be the 5th highest rated player of the class with a massive 92. So it would keep that value up very high, giving us a total score of 192. That 192 with 9 commits would catapult us above Florida State, I believe, just under. So Florida State's at 192.5. This would put us at 192.2. So we'd be sitting in the 8th spot with 9 commits. That would catapult us above South Carolina, Oregon, and Tennessee. If TJ Moore, the recent crystal ball to Florida, were to commit to Florida, we'd be having a top 10 class again with only 9 commits. Everybody above us and even behind us has less commits than we do. And the guys, and again, love to get some more guys. This is, I think, the start of it. We talked about May being a hot month, June being a hot month. We are in recruiting season now. This is the start of it. This is the first domino to fall to get the ball rolling for recruiting. And I love it. This is why I get excited about May, because it is the start. And I know what you guys are going to say. What are you guys doing? It's too soon. It's all this, blah, 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 blah. But come on, guys. Like, we got to get moving and grooving first. You know what I'm saying? So, Glenn Hartley, a UGA fan, constantly watches you. I work with him and live rent-free in his mind. He does. He's always on here. It's hilarious how many Georgia fans come in here and watch us and have a good time. I love it. I don't mind it. I appreciate it. It gives them a happy place to come and hang out with, because obviously there isn't any cool Georgia channels like this one. So, I expect it. I get it. Sam says, I have to be in it to win it all. Sam, I am. I love it. And so let's do, again, I know I'm getting ahead of myself here, boys, but this is what we do, okay? I want to go over TJ Moore really quick because we haven't had a chance to talk about him that much. TJ Moore, again, wide receiver, also out of Tampa, Florida. Could we be, what's going on here, boys? We got, he goes to Tampa Catholic. Let me see where Izaiah goes. They go to the same school, possibly? I didn't even see where Izaiah went. He goes to Carrollwood Day. Okay, so I was like, man, if you're going to the same school, man, hell of a lineup, first of all, at that high school. But look, love that we're close to one another, Tampa area. Right now, obviously, we're warm. Obviously, got that crystal ball from On3 for him. He's a 25th ranked wide receiver, 6'3", 190. A little bit taller. So loving that height there from the wide receiver side, 6 foot and now 6'3". Again, that would be a massive addition. The other crystal ball right now is Christopher Jones, 4-star linebacker, which would be another linebacker for our class. We already have 2 in Darius Hayes and Miles Graham, but I think we can all agree that we had a little bit of a weak linebacker class, and by weak I mean not enough quantity over the last few classes. So got to make up for it somewhere. So let's add Christopher Jones again. You know how we do. We got to see what's going on. None of this is guaranteed, and I understand that, but it's crystal ball. Crystal balls usually typically we feel pretty good about that. He would actually bump TJ Moore down. He's got an average rating of 93. So high quality player, 6'2", 220 pounds. That would be our 10th commit, putting us at a total score of 207, which would then bump us above Florida State and then just behind Penn State. But again, they have 13 commits. They've got 3 more commits than we do. which is obviously massive, but their rating is 90. This would obviously, with those two commits, we probably wouldn't even drop down, maybe a little bit underneath 94 because one guy was 92, the other was a 93. So it may come down a little bit from that 94 ranking, but my goodness, boys, the class is moving in a healthy direction, and I'm loving it. And we got Shake Money here. Let's go, baby. Just gifted 5 High Top Sports memberships. Hell yeah, Shake Money. Appreciate the love and support, man. I love it. I love it. Eddie says, what's up, my brother? How are you? Are you ready to put on that spacesuit? You know what I'm saying, baby. I get fired up to put this thing on, boys. The sooner the commit, the more locked in. I agree, King Mike. I agree. That tells me that, look, I think later on, like June, July, in the middle of the season, they start committing. Those guys, to me, give me a little bit more wishy-washy feeling. We saw it last year happen. The guys that committed later on typically flipped. Now, we did flip some guys that were early committed as well, too. So I think you got a little bit of both. But the guys that are getting in right now, they understand that they're trying to build something special. So the sooner they get in, the more locked in they are. They love what they saw, and now they're part of building a class. And so when they're part of building that class, the likelihood of them decommitting goes down tremendously because they've now been a part of this family. They've gone to the Friday Night Lights events. They've helped recruit there, right? They go to the games. And then now look, they're orange and blue to the day they die because they have been building for this team. And that's why I keep saying with DJ, I mean, this guy's been more committed than I've ever seen. Again, Chauncey Bowen, Miles Grahams, these guys also have been early on committed. Chauncey Bowens, I haven't heard anything, but I know that he is being targeted heavily by all these other schools. That's got to scare you a little bit. You got Georgia and Saban constantly knocking on his door, which is a huge compliment, right? And I think we won't give Bailey enough credit for holding those guys off because he's already committed, but for the fact that these guys are sending helicopters to Chauncey Bowen's high school and just all in on trying to get this 4-star running back to their school shows you the value there. And to me, that's a W. Like we obviously don't get the visual of him choosing Florida over Georgia and Bama with the caps, right? But you have to imagine that's the exact same thing with how heavily they are pursuing him. So love where our class is headed, boys. I really am. Hit the like button. Absolutely fired up, boys. How about him, baby? How about him, baby? Let's go. Look, it feels good, man. I know, like I said, last year, May, we started getting a few guys trickling in, and we saw a question, is this Billy's first time through? Look, you have to say a little bit it kind of is. I know last year, obviously, it was that first real class, that 2023 class. He was able to get an offseason under his belt. He was able to get, obviously, a season under his belt, and then after the season, you kind of have that commitment date. But this is his first you have a full season under your belt, right? And he already was starting to target 2024 guys last year. So this is a really first full healthy class, her first real true cycle. Even though I know people are going to argue that the 2023 cycle was a full cycle, and I don't disagree with you, but he's been able to establish himself. He's been able to go through his camp now. He's going through it the second time now. He's obviously had a season underneath them on top of being able to recruit these guys early on in their high school careers. That's the important part. That's what I mean by full cycle, because he was able to tap into these guys their sophomore year when nobody else really started going after them just yet. Coming into 2023, he's trying to recruit guys that have already been spoken to and been speaking to tons of colleges, right? So that there's a piece there that people kind of forget, that these kids have been talking to Sabans, the Kirbys, the Norvells for, since their sophomore year, like we have been with these 2024 guys. So, look, I'm loving where we're at. I think this is, again, the first real cycle, and it's showing that it is paying dividends. I think we're making healthy moves. We've got to stay on top of this, though. We kind of fell off the wagon a little bit towards the end of the year last year in recruiting. We got to keep the pedal to the metal going into this with what we got going on right now. I'm pumped for Friday Night Lights. I would love for us to have a top 5 class going into Friday Night Lights, ideally for me. That at that point in time, I think last year we were kind of lower end 10, and I know we had a lot of 5-stars coming in, but the class was slowly starting to piece together, right? We had the Sharif Denson, Treon Webb, at that time Marcus Stokes, all those guys that just recently committed within the last month. But if we can go in there with guys that are already slotted for a healthy amount of time, right? Aiden Mazzell, I don't think was committed or had just committed at that point. We can get a couple more, go under Friday Night Lights with a nice healthy bunch. Friday Night Lights could be something even more special than what it was last year. So all things looking really good, man. Real good. It says, Shake Money, with these great YouTubers covering the Gators, it's awesome to be a Florida Gator fan right now. It really is, man. It really is. It's something special, and I think with all the coverage of Florida Gators and all of these YouTubers and podcasters and all these guys covering it should tell you the health of the program and the excitement of the program. It's almost in comparison. You see what's going on with Colorado, how many channels have started to create because of that, because of the hype there. Alabama has a great YouTube following as well because of their excitement. Georgia, I think they're kind of up and coming. I think they obviously have Uncle Luke. I don't really know too many other ones, but it is good to see, like, again, just the family and the foundation that Florida is building. King Mike says, what is Friday Night Lights? Is that a jab, or you, because you messing with me or being serious? It's a camp that happens in July at the Swamp, so I don't know if you're screwing with me or not. But we got almost 100 people in here. Make sure you guys show some love, drop a like. Good to see all of you here. Really excited about what we got going on today. Moving on, though, let's talk about Billy addresses the portal. This was a fun one for me. So a couple articles came out on Billy and his thoughts on the transfer portal. And Billy Napier understands criticism, believes in Florida Gators system for the transfer portal. So we've talked this before, how Billy kind of brushes things off and is very flat in his responses. This is kind of the first time that he's addressed the noise that we've all been venting about, right? And this is kind of his quote here. He says, I gladly welcome the criticism, Napier said. The portal players that we have added to our team all have contributed to our team. I would say one that I'm extremely particular about is our evaluation process, and I think it's one of the reasons we have this job. The evaluation process is thorough. It takes time, right? We want to make sure that we leave no stone unturned, and that means combing through and examining medical records dating back to at times in high school, right? He goes, you call a high school, there's an injury history. Sometimes there's things you're unaware of. You've got to flip over every single rock. Sometimes our process doesn't fit the timeline and we lose out on a situation. It is what it is. We're not going to speed through that process. Very interesting, because we've been critical on this show. We've talked about it with you guys in the chat about him, the laid backness he's had in the portal. That's been our understanding of it and how we felt about it. We missed out on Josh Simmons, it felt like, because what are we doing? Why aren't we moving quicker? Why aren't we moving faster? He goes, look, we've been burned. And there's another article here. That one was by Nick Del Toro. This one is by Zach Oberverdi, I believe. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Where he goes, look, we've made mistakes on the portal, right? He goes, there's a ton of research done before the portal opens. And obviously when the portal does open, we have checks and balances to make sure that we're not rushing into a relationship. He compared the portal like speed dating, which I thought was pretty funny as well, too. Like that he's, getting his metaphors out there like I like to as well. He goes, look, emissions, that's a mistake that we made here. Probably talking about Grayson McCall, if I had to guess. We pursue players for weeks and in the very beginning, and then all of a sudden we get transcripts for them, and we can't take them. A player that has 1 or 2 years left, okay, they've been in college for 8 semesters. I mean, there's a high likelihood that guy can't get into a school at the University of Florida. So there's an admission issue. And look, all those things are very interesting, right? He also says, there's a ton of research to do. Sometimes you're out in front of that. Sometimes you anticipate. You've been made aware of potential scenarios. We all understand how this happens, and then sometimes it just happens unannounced, and sometimes that requires a ton of research to be done before you're ready to go. So academics is important. So that seems to be the big hiccup for all of us. We've been wondering what it is, and again, that's another thing too. We wonder, hey, why is this top talented stud, why is he still in the portal one? Why is he unable to transfer from this school and go to an SEC caliber school or a Pac-12? Grayson McCall is a big question mark, right? Like, obviously, guy slung it at his Coastal Carolina school. Why can't he move on? Well, he didn't care about school, didn't care about his academics. And obviously, that seems to be a big point of emphasis. And like what Billy said, we've wasted a lot of time going after guys, not even considering that, because it is like speed dating. This is new to all of us. So we've learned, hey, we're not going to rush into this process. I think with being burned, obviously makes you kind of be hesitant in the situation. So this is that first true year too, I think. I know we had guys enter into the portal last year, but this is the first year, in my opinion, where it definitely feels more of like the portal should be, right? So look, we have to trust the process. I think he kind of flexes a little bit when he says, look who the guys we brought in. Well, one of the guys went to the NFL, drafted second round. Montrell Johnson's probably going to be a second to third round, maybe fourth round draft pick. Still going to be an NFL draft pick for sure. So all these, Ricky Pearsall as well, going to be an NFL draft pick. All these guys that we brought in from the portal have had success. Cameron Jackson from Memphis, Cam the running back as well, looked extremely explosive in the spring game. So look, I think they're excited about the guys they're bringing in. So we got to keep trusting that ability and understand what's going on. We just landed the safety out of Michigan, R.J. Moten, another big stud. He was at the time when he came to Florida, was a second-ranked safety that got picked up from us. So we had to keep trusting the process, and I love that he finally addressed it, though, right? I think we've talked about it before. Billy kind of maneuvers his way around it. It's good to hear him be a little vulnerable. Like, look, here's the situation, guys. Here's what's going on, right? This is what's happening, and this is how we're addressing it and how we're approaching it. This is our process. May not be the right process, may not be the best process, but right now, this is our process. You got to respect that. You got to respect the honesty. You got to respect his approach and what he's doing with that, and I'm all in on it. So I've been saying this the whole time. I trust in Billy. I trust in his staff, and I'm going to continue to trust in Billy and his staff until otherwise. I have been critical for how he's handled the portal, but now that he's addressed it, he's expressed, hey, here's the struggles that we're going through. Here's what we're dealing with, right? Then I'm okay with it. At least he addressed it instead of just leaving us in the radar. Because sometimes it feels like we're just out there looking around going, hey, Billy, can we get some insight, bub? Can you tell us what's happening here? So glad he addressed it. I think, look, we're making some moves. I think the recruiting's coming together. Wouldn't mind to pick up a few more guys from the portal to help with this class and this I'm calling this a transition class. I think we all have to agree on that. It's an awkward stage, right? We're kind of left in this limbo status, and this is the positive of the portal that we're able to put together those pieces and not necessarily be such a weak transition class, but we can still be competitive if we put the right pieces together. So we'll see. But, hey, I appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out with us today, man. It really means a lot on this Friday afternoon. Hell of a day to kick off Cinco de Mayo. Hell of a way to kick off the weekend. So make sure you guys go have a beer, celebrate, even though we didn't do anything. But when you're part of the Phantom Hood, that's what it's all about. So show some love, boys. Drop a like. Good seeing you guys all here. James Lyons says it's on Friday. What's the date? It's in July. Typically, yeah, it's in July. July 29th is a Friday Night Lights event. You know what we do? We'll be there. So we will be there July 29th, hanging out, having a good time. So it's an absolute blast. It's super cool to watch all these prospects come onto the field. All the Gator players, not all of them, but a lot of them will come out and hang out and chit-chat and help recruit as well. And then you have some big studs, right? I'm sure DJ, almost can guarantee you DJ Lagway there will be out there doing some work. So be excited to see him and get to chit-chat with him a little bit. But for content-wise, we'll see what we're able to do. And again, shout out to Shake Money again, man, for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that, boys and girls. Means a lot. Godspeed, my boy. We got another one. Yes, sir. Todd says, thanks for the content. Yes, sir, man. Callie says, need that DB from Raging Cajuns. I couldn't agree more, man. Look, we get that DB from Raging Cajuns. I'm feeling pretty spiced up about that defense, boys. Yeah, I'm going to tell you one thing. Going into Utah, I'm going to be fired up, boys. Okay? Look, I'm ready to have a good damn football season, man, and get fired up and just get buck nasty with it. And it's all going to start with Utah, and I can't wait, man. It's going to start heating up, obviously, as we get closer and the more we talk about it, and I can't wait for summer ball to get back into the groove of things and start seeing how these guys are playing, but I'm ready. James says, nothing but love for High Top. Love you too, boys. Love you too. And one last time.
How about them Gators?
How about them, boys? Let's go. Wait, we're building something special, all right? Just sit back and sit tight and relax, and let's have some fun. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn the bell on so you guys don't miss out on these events. King Mike says notification gang. Sometimes YouTube is a little finicky in their notification process, so make sure you guys show some love and turn that bell on so you guys know when we go live, because we don't know when a commit's going to happen. We got to be ready to rock and roll. But you guys have a good weekend, a safe weekend. Maybe we'll see you guys again for a pop-up live event. Maybe we'll get some more good news over the next few days. Who knows? So that's why it's important to keep your bells turned on and the subscribe button locked in. Until next time, boys and girls, I'm Sheldon. Love you.
Cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't be
got that dog.
No regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to
get that dog.
In the back bed, I show you what happens. Pass me the